Hello, everyone. So we're here today for this new topic on breakups. So we have two special guests who will introduce themselves in a moment. Before we get started, we have been kindly sponsored by a coffee brand, and one of our guests is going to introduce this coffee concept.
So this is Cafe Kid. I am one of the co-founder. So we do pops up one every week on Saturday at Sasa Art Project, and we also sell coffee kit tools where you can see this is a pour over where you can do coffee or tea, and yeah, that's it from me.
Awesome. So let's
You
get
wanna make
started.
some tea?
Sure. So my name is Afzi. I'm 20 years old. I'm Cambodian, but I'm living in Sweden right now for studies. A little bit about my breakup. So my relationship lasted for 2 years, and we just broke up for about a week now. And we met at school, and that's when we clicked. How about you?
Okay, so I forgot to introduce myself. I am an artist and also a designer and breakup. So I think it's been 4 years, quite well. Um, and I think we met during high school or secondary. I forgot. I think it was when in we were in grade seven. So we were very good friends all along from grade seven until grade 12. Then we started like dating when we enter university. And yeah, um, yeah, and that's it.
Cool. So it'll be interesting to see the contrast between just about a week ago and it's been 4 years for you. But let's start off with our first corner icebreaker, and we're gonna start off by playing some Jenga. The rules are that when you pick up a piece and it has a white sticker on it, you're gonna have to pick a question from the terrazzo, and yeah, let's see how it's gonna go. So the goal is to find out the reason about each other's breakups.
Okay. So I'm gonna add a little bit about the featuring of Terrazzo as well. So that's all, our second main sponsor for today podcast. So I'm also hosting a terrazzo workshop, which is my small business. It's called Beton Craft Studio. FZ also joined our third workshop last weekend.
Cool. Let's get started. So this is where we're gonna pick the questions from, and you want to tell a bit about what this is?
So the very special thing and unique about the pot is that it's a recycled product. So we give a second life to a bottle,
Mhm.
and yeah, we should start again.
I don't think that's a good one.
Really? Can I change?
Okay.
Oh, I'll cut this one. Stop us.
Okay, I can start.
Sorry.
So the question asks, what is this relationship thought taught you about myself? Um, I think the most important part is that I learned how to care about someone and to learn about how my role in a relationship is to care for someone and be responsible, and also learn about my strengths and weaknesses, and a partner is there to help me to understand those and improve on my weaknesses such as communication and maybe love languages that I can show towards the other person.
Okay, I have to recall back again. So, my last relationship has taught me so much to love myself, I think. And I think we were a very close friend already when we started to date, and it's been a very hard process of what happened, and also the breakup part. And then after the breakup, I learned so much I think, to lose someone, but then to found myself back.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Cool. Now it's your turn to
Okay.
pick a block. Okay, we're just gonna cheat a bit. You can take it.
Okay, I'm gonna pick the question.
Yeah.
Okay, the question is, who are you thankful to, aka your best confidence during your worst?
Hmm. That's a good question, actually.
Mm, I think my friends. Yeah, but it's that time was very hard to. I have to decide like which friend I talk to because his friend is also my friend. So that's very conflict. So I yeah, it's a long story short.
Yeah, I would agree. Friends as well. I think they're like really fun people to be around, and it helps you to almost like forget about like the hard parts and just do fun things. And also, I think maybe family as well. I talked a lot about it with family, and family's always there is always there for you. So it really strengthened the process, I think. I think my mom, because I'm really open about it to her, and of course she's been there since day one. So of course, like we share everything. So it was really amazing that she was there for me. Oh, another sticker. Um, what's something you gave up during that relationship? I think as a young person and it being my first relationship, I gave everything to that person, and I almost gave up myself. Funny enough, I started to just prioritize her a lot, and in that process, I slowly forgot about myself, and then that's why this breakup helped me to regain um, that self confidence again, and yeah, the answer is myself. I think I had to give up myself to love her, and I don't think that was a good idea.
Mm. Yeah, so my story, I did not only lost that relationship, but it's also that friendship. And sometimes still do miss that about each other. Yeah, because I love to sing and we did a lot of like singing and also like singing on the stage during the school events. So we always like the duo who performs at the school. Yeah, and I do miss those moments a lot. He is a good guitarist and also a good singer too. Yeah.
Now it's my turn.
Yeah, your turn. Mm.
No, I'm sorry.
Okay, I think this one.
I feel like it's gonna fall soon.
You wish? Oh yeah, I feel it.
That's not a good one.
I touched it already. Okay, the question is, it's a very long one. Your current breakup state. Still feel raw, sewing, heal, scar, smooth, and unwhole. So I think I'm completely healed.
Well, that's good.
You?
It's a bit of a tricky stage right now. Um, it's still raw. The the cut is um it's still there, but I'm still doing my best to move on and just trying to better myself. And yeah, I think move on is definitely the best move to do right now at this stage. But it's still difficult, trying to still because I'm still thinking of the relationship. It's still new and it feels like a really big part of me is missing. So it's very confusing state right now.
I think it took me almost like 1 year to completely move on.
Yeah,
And it's been very difficult.
I can imagine. Yeah,
Yeah.
especially with the bond you had with him. Yeah,
Yeah, it take time.
I mean, time heals
Yeah.
everything. So. Okay, so now that I got the sticker here, Just pick one. Okay. What is the first time you felt something was off in the relationship? I think it was usually mostly because of the communication. I think the other person was very more of like on the controlling side of the dynamic, and I felt like she was. I don't know what to say. I think the dynamic was a little bit off in the communication aspect, so it's really difficult to understand each other's perspectives, and that was when we kind of had a difficult time trying to understand each other and move on and improve the communication.
For me, I think yeah, communication is one of the most important thing, which also lead to the trust issue part. I think we started to yeah, having trust issue with each other, and because of that lack of communication.
Yeah, I agree. I think trust is almost the most important thing, and if trust is not there, then it is going to be difficult.
Yeah, and then it started to build like the frustration, and also like the argument.
Exactly,
Yeah,
yeah.
like non-stop.
Yeah, yeah.
And then to the point that you get so tired and exhausted. Oh, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Oops. Shit. It's just falling into the tea. Yeah. Tea finish. Yeah.
So we're just gonna continue a bit more. Part 2.
Part 2.
I'll go ahead
Okay.
then. Let's get the easy ones.
Okay. Ooh. Okay. Question.
I'll pick 3.
Oh, this is a very long one. Something you would do better if you ever had to go through the same experience again.
I can go ahead. If I were to do better, something would be, I think, being really supportive and being more understanding of her wants and her needs. Yeah, and I felt like I could get very annoyed at times because of how she reacts to certain things. But then I had a really hard time understanding her point of view. So if I would have to do it again, I would really try harder to not be so selfish, and yeah, just understand her better, because us guys and other girls don't have the same brain. So I really have to understand her side as well, instead of trying to maybe keep fighting for my opinion. Always having to protect myself. I think I should also look on the other side as well. Yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree with the trying to understand each other, and also talk very openly to each other. Like keep talking, always communicating, not to hide things from each others, and also trying to compromise as well. Like if we have like some argument or issue that we couldn't agree, then we talk and we understand, and also try to compromise each other's side. Like try to put each other in your shoe or my shoe, her
Exactly.
shoe, his shoe.
Yeah, especially in arguments when we're really super angry,
Mm.
it's hard to see the other side. So I
Yeah.
think it would be better to just like calm down and like talk about it, like,
Later.
or being how do you say it, like objective, like,
Mm.
okay, I'm not angry right now, I'll try to understand this with like no emotions, you know, like,
Mm.
if
Yeah.
you know what I mean.
Yeah, but for
Mm.
me, I would try to like, yeah, understand your emotion. If you're angry, then I think it would better if we talk about this
Exactly.
later and
Yeah.
then take some break or the
Yeah.
space where we can reflect and think again of what's really the root of the problem.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, and then we can talk about it later
Mhm.
when we feel
Yeah.
a bit calm.
Exactly. Yeah. That's a
Mm.
good way to do it as well. Nope. Yeah.
Oh, this one will fall. It will fall.
Nah.
Oh. Okay. Oh, no
Good.
question.
As a sticker. So, how do you deal with pain from the relationship and in general when your feelings get hurt? I think to deal with something, you have to acknowledge it being actually hurtful, but then to control your emotions, you have to think whether if you can actually do something about it. For example, if, let's say, I missed the bus. I mean, it does suck, but like sometimes you cannot do anything about it. So when I think about it in that way, I can move on easily. But if it's something that's like really big, such as a breakup, and it's like actually painful, I think the best way for me is to find new things to do and talk to someone about it. I think talking to other people really helps with the pain, I'd say.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think my friend are very were there for me and giving me advice, and the best one was like allow yourself to feel.
Yeah.
So just to accept it and also acknowledge it, all of the emotion, and then if you want to do something, just do that.
Exactly.
Like cry, get
Mhm.
drunk, yeah, and do something use. I
Yeah.
think that's also what I did, and yeah.
Exactly. I mean, now if we were talking about breakups, I think if we don't address our emotions early on, it'll come back later.
Yeah.
So if you want to cry, just cry it all out. If you want to watch all the sad movies, listening to all the sad music, just do it now and cry it all out, you know, because if you just bottle up all your emotions now, it'll just explode later.
Yeah, that's what I did. Listening to sad song 24/7.
Yep. That's a good way to do it.
Okay. I think it's my turn.
Hmm.
Mm,
So far, so good.
this one is good. Sorry. Why do I say this one is good? Okay.
I don't think Jenga is the best game for us.
Yeah.
So I think the best way is to just, you know, pick it out directly.
Okay. I'm sorry, I cannot read the text. Look.
What's the last thing they
Oh.
said or texted?
Oh my god. Okay.
I think it was just wishing each other all the best, wishing us each other luck, and saying our final goodbyes. But then it didn't go as planned because we texted a bit later on. We broke up in amicable terms. We were, you know, like, it was not a really toxic breakup. It was, you know, a friendly one. So we just decided to talk about it a bit and check up on each other. So I think we ended it on really good terms.
Mm,
So yeah, I guess the last text was just asking each other how we felt.
cool. I think my case is a little bit different. I think we were not on a good term from 4 years ago until now. Yeah, I've mentioned that he's also one of my close friend, good friend. But then because of this relationship, it's also broke the friendship. Mm, I think the last tag.
You don't have to answer it. We can move on.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
We skip this
Okay,
one.
you can always skip. It's your turn.
It's your turn.
I take this one.
My
I think.
turn. Okay. So when were you the most happy looking back?
You can answer.
Oh, um, I think just enjoying the moment, not thinking about the future. Singing together.
Yeah, that's a really like vivid memory for you, I'm sure. I think yeah, after the breakup, all I could think was all the good times we had together, doing everything we could possibly do in the city. We think about all the times we went to the museum, think about all the good times we've just had ice cream or something. All these memories keep coming back. So that's all I could think of, because we were apart after high school. We went to different universities. So the ones I really cherished the most is when we were actually together in person, and yeah, just also being at school when we were still younger. Those were the really good times. What's your favorite heartbreak song? The first thing that comes to mind is I don't really have a song, but there's this album by Frank Ocean called Blonde, and I really like to listen to it. First of all, it sounds really good, but also it has a really deep meaning. And fun fact, Brad Pitt listened to it while he was breaking up or divorcing Angelina Jolie. So I think it's a really good one for if you want to listen to it someday.
Okay, so I think mine is my artist. His name is Sully Payne, and he's very good at writing all of those sad breakup songs. And yeah, I listen to a lot of his song and also Heng Pitu.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
I think I do, yeah.
Yeah, he's so sad. Like his whole life, it's like Salanke Bane Ang, stuff
Oh.
like that.
like Taylor Swift, she's always something's up
Yeah.
in her life.
Yeah, I think that took my artist.
Sure, I'll give it a listen.
Yeah. Okay.
I think it's your turn.
Okay, the question is something that heal you.
Something that heals you.
Yeah.
I think just trying to find myself and finding things to do that makes me fall in love with myself again heals me. Finding the things I love to do, such as drawing, painting, or just having or spending time with myself, heals me automatically. And just finding the time to love myself again and do the things I love.
I think time. Time will heal.
Mm-hmm.
That's
And is there like anything to like speed up the process, you think?
No.
No.
Yeah.
Just time. Yeah.
My case is 1 year. Your case, you tell me later.
Sure. Was it your first heartbreak?
Oops.
Yeah, I think for me it's my first heartbreak. You know, I've had like, girlfriend when I was like younger, but I don't count those. It's just like, you know, when you're a kid, you have like a crush and
Mm.
you don't know what to call it really. But I think this is like my first like actual heartbreak. She's like my first actual girlfriend. You know, we were still young and we're still learning, and I think this breakup was the right thing to do. And yeah, just us being young and really naive kind of hurt each other because we don't really know how to act in a really serious relationship. So I think trying to rebuild ourselves again and becoming more mature would really be the right thing to do instead of continuing and hurting each other even more. But yeah, it was my first heartbreak, and I think that's a really important part in all of our lives is the first heartbreak. You'll never forget it, really, because I think it'll change you. You'll turn out to become a very strong person at the end. Was it your first heartbreak?
Oh no. My third time. Yeah,
Mhm.
but this one was the most difficult one.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he's my friend's very close friend.
Yeah. Yeah, you lose your best friend, and
Yeah.
that really is like losing a part of yourself, like your other half. I agree. It'll take time.
Okay. Oh
Well, it
my
doesn't
god,
matter.
I'm lost. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so one word to describe that love story. One, just one. Or maybe I answer first.
Sure.
Young love.
That's two.
Okay, high five.
Okay, young and love.
And love.
Okay. Cool.
I thought you said the same thing. Yeah, never mind.
I don't know. I
that.
feel like if I had to choose like an actual one
I mean
word.
to say high five. Young
Huh?
love.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
sure.
young love.
Um, something you are proud of about yourself looking back. I think I'm proud of myself for being resilient. I think when we decided to be apart doing long distance, we always get into fights, and you know there are always these moments that you just really want to end it. Like you cannot take it anymore. It's just too much, you know. Like I just want to be there with her, and not many kilometers away. I think being proud of being resilient is just being strong and like being patient. I think we're really good at that, and just looking long term. Like okay, it's just a couple more years. You can do it.
I think, yeah, I said this one already to allow yourself to feel and also to do anything that you want to do, and then like make sure that you are ready and completely healed before you go into another relationship. That
Mhm.
is very important.
Yeah.
Yeah, you need to truly, I don't know, find yourself
Mhm.
first before you wanted to start another
Yeah.
relationship.
It would be a really bad idea to go into another relationship not fully healed. I think that would just transfer to the other person and hurt them even more. So I think yeah, finding yourself and just knowing who you are would be better to move on to another relationship, or just being by yourself for a while is also good.
Yeah, okay.
3 things that you're happy and thankful from breaking up. We can take turns. I'm really thankful for just meeting her in the first place. I'm thankful that she taught me a lot, and yeah, just I'm thankful for her teaching me things, how to become stronger, mature. I'm just gonna do more than 3.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, she just taught me a lot to just work hard. She was really hardworking, so yeah, especially in school, I wasn't really the best, and meeting her really helped. And yeah, I think that was a really important thing for us. Um, just supporting each other in school since we were like really young. I'm really thankful for that.
Mm,
Mm.
mm, tough one. I think I'm thankful that I was able to let go of these relationship because we were very in a bad term and we did not end this very well. Until now, it's still kind of hunting.
Mm.
Even I'm completely healed.
Yeah.
Yeah, so from time to time he would text me, which is I'm not sure how to feel about it. Not like asking each other how I feel, but more like um, what happened from the past, and I think it was not a very good term that he did that. He did what he did. Yeah, I think.
Yeah, I think letting go is can be better than just holding on, and just holding on can just make things worse. So yeah, in this case, I think I'm really thankful, or yeah, I'm thankful that it ended, because the longer we stayed, I think it would just destroy each other slowly, and yeah, it's just better for the mental health, I guess. It's always good to let go sometimes when you really need it.
Yeah, and also good for our own growth as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I can see myself growing, meeting new people, like finding myself, focus on my career.
Yeah. What's the first song in your Spotify music playlist?
Right now, at the moment, I think my song now is like Super Shy by New Jeans. I really love their spirit, like so young, so fresh. Love it.
Just for the sake of it, I had this song called Storage by Connor Maynard, and it's about the little things that you learn about your partner. Like, for example, you your partner likes it when you scratch her back this way, or like she likes it when you hold her right hand and you walk on this side of the street. It's those little things that you know about your partner, and then suddenly you have to forget about all those things. So yeah, that song is very, very sad.
Oh, so sad. Yeah.
Because when you're with your partner, you really have to understand them, like every single detail, and having to let go of that really hurts. Yeah.
Yeah. You should try Super Shy by New Jeans.
Sure. What is that about?
I think crush, like young love. Yeah.
Sure.
First love.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
you should.
So sure.
Okay.
This is the
Last
last one.
question. One word to describe the pain you feel.
I would say reminiscing, I think, because whenever I look back at the memories, it causes the most pain. So I think that's the word I would say.
My word would be sad. Very sad.
2 words again?
Yeah, so it was very sad
Hmm.
because I think I tried so hard to move on and did all the things that I did, but I think it was not fair. I think at least what I think back then, 4 years ago, I think it wasn't fair because he had somebody else during that process when I'm trying to move on and heal, and it was very hard for me to not think about it and ignore it and to yeah.
So now that we've finished all the questions, we have to try to guess each other's reason of the breakup.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any idea of the reason why we broke up, or why I broke up with them?
I think the long distance.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how long were you when you were in a long distance, but I did went through the long distance relationship once,
Mhm.
and it did not work out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right. It was the long distance that finally broke us apart.
Mm.
Yeah, it's really tough because communication is the most important thing, and trust. But we did
Mm.
trust each other. It's just I think we're very physical people. We have to be there. Holding hands and being far from each other really.
How
Yeah.
long?
We did long distance for a year. Yeah.
4 years.
For a year.
For a
Just for a
year.
year.
Oh.
And we're still young, and I think it's better if we just focus on education. Just finish our university, because I don't think it'll be better for another couple of years. And yeah, there are many other reasons as well, such as our cultural differences, and I think also her parents weren't really supportive of our relationship, so it would be really hard for that in the future. And yeah, I think just thinking long term, it wouldn't really work out.
Mm-hmm.
But for you,
Yeah.
it's tough because I think it was a lot of the arguments, I think. But I don't know if that's a good. Because you're saying I don't know. Actually don't know. Is there like a clue? Because.
I think it was the trust issue,
Ah,
and
yeah, yeah, yeah.
also I don't know. He looked like he fall out of love,
Mm-hmm.
but he's not. So I don't know.
Oh, he keeps texting you back, so.
I know.
But yeah, I think, yeah, maybe trust. I think you talked about it a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, trust issue is very important.
Yeah, it is really one of the important ones.
If you want that relationship to work, I think it's very important to build that strong foundation
Exactly, yeah.
for that trust issue.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Now we're moving on to the debate corner, where we're going to give our personal opinion on whether it's right or wrong, by picking a topic from the Toronto pot. And the people backstage are going to participate as well.
How long is too long for a long distance relationship? Wow.
I mean, in my case, if it's like education in university during our bachelor's and master's, I think it would be a bit too long, but I think as well I think it would be okay as well if you grow to understand that you're going to be in a long distance relationship. I think it'll be okay, but then if it gets too long, maybe, I don't know, 5 years, 6 years, I think at that point it would get really difficult, and I think it would lose the physical aspect of just touch and, all those things that you do when you're together. And at some point it would get too boring. I would feel like. I don't know. What do you think?
I think mm, if education doing bachelor or master wouldn't be a problem, but I think it's more important about your goal and like what's next. It's like if we if like you were studying abroad and your boyfriend or girlfriend is in abroad, but then you are from a different country, and after graduated you have to come back to your country. I think that's a very big terms to see. I think it's the vision in the future.
If you guys have a common goal, and yeah, like to work towards in the future, like maybe just finish school and then we can finally meet after. Then having that clear vision would really help. Don't you think? Like, if you don't have really a clear goal, it would be really messy, I would say. A word from the backstage.
Yes, so as Chandy mentioned, I think it's important to have a timeline. Let's say you just started your studies, but you know that your studies will obviously have an end like in 4 years. So at least you know I have to survive in this relationship for 4 years. So at least you have a timeline clearly in your mind. When other people go like for job and they don't know when that person will be able to come back in the same country, I think it's more difficult. And two other things are how often the person can actually travel to see the other person. If it's often, then that's fine. But if it's only once every 3 months, that might be more difficult for the relationship to last. And also, I think one key aspect is, let's say only one person goes to the other's country, and then there might be a kind of like, oh, I wish that other person could also make that move as well. Although realistically, it's more difficult for both parties to be able to move as much.
Yeah, I completely agree with having to meet each other frequently. I think that really helps.
And then last thing I thought about is that it depends on which stage you are as an individual. Let's say, so as you mentioned, studying is a different like stage of your life, but then after that, having your full-time job, you might be more mature to handle a long-distance relationship. I think it really depends on your age, your mentality, your position in your life. So yeah.
Yeah, I agree as well, because in my relationship, we met each other in real life, and that really built a strong foundation towards the future of long distance. And it would be really difficult if you just met each other online, for example. Starting off like that would be also much more difficult as well. Shall we pick out another one now?
Yeah.
We'll do it.
Dating styles across cultures.
Have you observed any differences in dating culture while living abroad, or maybe um, uh, being coupled with a foreigner or someone who's from another country? Any observations?
Mm, I think my case, I come from a background with my dad and mom is Khmer and Chinese, so they are a little bit conservative and also strict. So that time when I was dating, they were not. It was they did not know that I was in a relationship. Yeah, and yeah, I wasn't open very much to them, so I was like hiding and lying most of the time. Yeah, so I wish I can. Yeah, they were open, and I would, if I have any problem, I would definitely want to talk to my mom. Yeah, but that time they were not open. Yeah, but it's better now.
Yeah, for me, I'm I'm Cambodian, and my ex-girlfriend, she's European. She's Croatian, so that was a really big difference. Um, So yeah, you were talking about parenting styles. We're both raised differently, and our upbringings would really affect the relationship. By our culture, um, in terms of culture, her parents are really strict as well, and that really affected the relationship. So yeah, it does play a big role. Um, that's all I could think of at the
Yeah,
moment.
I would like to add another things, and I think his parents' side of you were like um, very rush of talking about the married and everything, and that time I wasn't ready to even think about it because yeah, I was in a university, and then yeah, I have no idea what I want to do in my life, and I think that's also part of the reason why we break up. Yeah, I wasn't ready to move to the another stage of life.
Okay, another new topic. Um, where does cheating start? Oh, is it going? For example, setting a heart text to an opposite gender friend, or chatting at a cafe with an opposite gender uh, coworker during lunch break, etc. Um, I think cheating starts when you give clues to another person that maybe you like them. For example, I don't know. I think it starts when you develop feelings and kind of allow the other person to act in a flirtatious way back to you. But I don't think maybe talking to an opposite gender is a really big deal. It's not. I don't think it's cheating. It's just life. I mean, my girlfriend had a lot of guy friends, and I think that's just normal. I don't think that's cheating. You know, it starts when you like act in a certain way where the other person thinks that you might wanna do something more than just become friends. I think.
Mm, okay. Um, so I I think different people define cheating in a different way. How do I start?
No, I think Chandy, that's interesting because saying that cheating depends on different people, I think that's where communication is important in a couple, so that the other person can be aware of where cheating starts for that person. So I think at an early stage in the relationship to mention to the other people, well, I'm not comfortable if you do that or do that, because it sends like a signal to me that you might not be as much interested towards me than you are for someone else. So yeah.
Mm,
Yeah, I think setting boundaries is a really important feature of trust and respecting the other person. So we have the roles and responsibility in a couple. I think just giving it our best, um, because usually people say you share the roles 50-50, but I think it's 100 and 100, because we have to just always do our best. Um, Most importantly is to just take care of the other person and understand what they want from the relationship, and being able to to provide for them is a really important role. And I don't believe in you know, gender oriented roles, because a man shouldn't do one thing and the woman shouldn't do the other. I feel like it always has to be equal. You know, one day you cook and then the other day I cook, and it's not always one person cooks all the time. You should divide roles equally, and I think that what makes a relationship prosper is giving your best and sharing the roles.
I think I would say 50-50. Because I don't think if that thing were like you need to provide for your partner, but then it's not something that you can do, and you try your best, but it does not work. So I think it's um not the best term. Mm, I think it should be naturally, or organic. We don't need to try so hard. I think if we try so hard, then we might lose ourselves in the process. Like that something is not you, but then you're trying so hard for that person, you know?
I think I agree with both point of views, and it's interesting because okay, you do your best both sides, but I think you need to know what you do best. Because let's say one person is cooking, and the other one is super bad at cooking, so I think for both parties, better that the other one doesn't cook and find something else that she or he can bring on the table. Let's say I don't know, do the wash the dishes instead. Yeah, but definitely being able to like how they say um, give tasks to everyone so that everyone's equal in the relationship. But something that you might be discussing is about whether or not do you believe in like gender courtesy or like guys courtesy? Like you usually the guy paying during the first dates because he wants to show his like he's able to provide for the girl. What do you think about that?
Yeah, it's really tricky in modern society with like gender roles. Um, yeah, all this like toxic masculinity and things, and all these things girls have like a checklist in their heads. It's really hard to do the right thing, and I guess it's just you have to figure what the other person prefers. Um, yeah, it really depends on the person. Like, it's really traditional. The guy pays on the first date. It's really tricky to say.
No, I think it's interesting, but when you say it's important to see what the other person likes, I think it's also important to know what's your, like, personally your style. Let's say you would feel like bad not being able to provide for her, and then it's your nature, so you might just want to pay during the first date, and that really represents you. But then on the other hand, if it's not you and you feel like you shouldn't be the one paying every time, then I think that means that the other person is not fit for you, and then you should just find someone
Yeah,
else.
exactly. I
Yeah.
think just be yourself and do
Yeah.
what you think is right for you, and if the other person dislikes it, then too bad. Do you agree, or is there anything else you want to say?
I think the first date is tricky. I don't know, it's the impression or something that you need to show. I think when we get to know each other more, and then second date, third date, and fourth date, we can talk about sharing and yeah, like spreading half half. Yeah.
So one question from me, because I think it's a really important. Well, the splitting the bill during the first date and stuff is like a really important topic for me, because I'm seeing a lot on social media today that a lot of girls, especially American girls, I don't know if because I'm following a lot of American people on social media, but a lot of girls are waiting for men to pay for the first date. And I want a yes or no from you guys if you think that's normal, if guys should pay on a first date, or should we just like not split the bill but pay for our own stuff, you know? Because the first date is not, you don't know the person yet. You know what I mean? So there's no commitment, there's no anything. I'm asking you that question because I'm completely against guys paying for everything. And I'm a 50-50 girl.
Yeah, that's very cool. I think it's always 50-50, but since I'm someone who's really indoctrinated by how society is right now, like all these things you guys have to do, I don't want to do it, but I feel like I have to. Like, all men shouldn't cry, blah, blah, blah. Like, all these things are like kind of being forced on me. I don't really like feel like I have a choice, but since that's how society is, I have to force myself and be that guy to pay the bill, you know? even though it's fair to do 50-50. But that's just how society is, and that's how men have been trained all these years to follow these rules. But yeah, I completely agree with you. I think 50-50 is the way to go.
But when I just want to precise, when I say 50-50 doesn't mean like you have to split the bill 50-50, meaning you pay the first round, the girl pays the second round. You know,
That's
just
what I want to mention.
sorry,
Yeah,
I'm
like
letting you speak.
you treat dinner and then after that I can treat ice cream or bubble tea. Yeah, yeah. So we treat each other. It doesn't matter who do it first. Yeah, if I pay for the first dinner, then you can pay for the second.
It's not always about one person doing things and being one-sided, but it's always this balance of showing care and respect to each other and returning the favor once in a while. One last one. Comment. When you're not in love, you quickly move on. And breakup is a great life lesson. You know, they say love works out, and if it didn't work out, it's not love. I think that really gets into my head all the time because, you know, it didn't work out for the both of us. Or so I question myself, if is it really love in the first place, you know? And yeah, I do agree that breakup is a really great life lesson. It teaches us so much, and it helps us to regain self-respect and self-love and all of those things.
So the first one, moving on, where you're actually not in love in the end, I think in a way it's easier because well, your heart doesn't like hurt that much. But on the other hand, I think if you had a long relationship, it becomes, even though it's not love, it might be attachment, and might be as hard to break up from a relationship that really binded you. So it's as if you're missing someone, even though it was not like true love or something.
Yeah, I completely agree. It's that glue that binds us. The stronger the glue was, then the harder it is to pull apart that connection.
Yeah, I always think that my ex completely like move on from me very fast because he had someone else very quickly when we just finished the relationship, and I think he haven't completely moved on yet because to what happened now that he's still texting me once in a while, not in a good way. I mean,
Now in the final corner, we'll be making a poem using lyrics from this mysterious pot here. Okay, now the 5 minutes are up. Shall we read it out loud? Do you want to go first?
you go first.
Okay. This was really hard because we have to use like exactly the word. So, you were the girl of my wildest dreams. You made me a happier person, but I should have known you were trouble from the start. It didn't work out because I've had everything. Now I just stare at my phone and feel nothing.
Wow, deep.
Thank you.
My thought.
What do you think?
It was, I don't know, the first sentence was so good, but then it's
It has to be a good. It has to be a good story. It's a poem, you know. It's very emotional.
you want to add anything? Okay, then I start to read mine. So I changed this word like house, but I changed to home. So it's literally the same. So, okay. I thought you were my home, my sunshine, my everything, but you a traitor. Can't afford to love you forever, 'cause your love burned me to hell. But before you go, please burn down the memories. Yes.
Wow,
Thank you.
that was really good.
Was it?
Yeah, it shows like how you really feel.
Okay, this is come to the ending. Now we're gonna just check up on each other a little bit. So, how do you feel right now?
Honestly, it's a really good way to reflect back on the relationship. You know, just reflecting of all the good and bad memories. I feel really good about myself, but also bringing back the old memories do hurt a little bit. But these exercises have, really helped to make me feel better, I think.
Mm.
How about you?
Mm, yeah, I think it's a bit nostalgic, like thinking about the past, the pain and everything. But yeah, I do feel also better. But if you ask me if I wanted to go through another breakup again, it would be no. Yeah, it would be no. But if anything happened, I think I will be ready for anything.
Hmm?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think for me, it really helped to talk about it and express it to another person. And I'm really happy that you were there to talk to and be there to listen to my feelings. But I think I don't think I'm ready yet for another experience to get hurt again. But that's life. If it doesn't work out and it hurts you, that's how it is. But from now, I'll be just working on myself and yeah.
I think this is very unexpected. Meeting you, our host, Cindy. I think yeah, we met during my workshop Terrazzo, and you were also the participant. Yeah, you guys was also part of the participant, and now we here talking about relationship breakup. I think it was so unexpected.
Yeah, no, like, yeah, I would never really talk to anyone about this, like, but yeah, I think talking about it to someone that has no clue about anything, it's really different from talking to your parents and seeing it from another perspective. It's quite refreshing. So yeah, I'm really thankful for today, and that's it. Yeah, thanks.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
See you in another episode.